wrap up the calls for the president's campaign. So for the journalists, we just spent the last 2 hours making phone calls in Texas on behalf of the president to camp. We're already campaigning for him. So Patrick's just going to wrap that up, and then I'll take it from there.
All right, guys. Welcome to all our international guests. It's good to have you all in here. So for all the phone bankers who are calling in Texas, how did that go?
It went good. A lot of disconnected numbers, but a lot of positive people. People who were answering.
It sounded like we had a lot of conversations going on compared to the other days. So
all the people in Texas are a lot nicer than people in Florida.
We're better.
So I know that some people got some volunteers recruited. Does anyone want to share some of those stories?
Now, I got to, one of my stories was like, I called this guy and I was like, do you support the president? And his wife, just like in the background, was like, yeah, we support Barack Obama. And she's in the back like, of course we're gonna volunteer. And they had like so much energy, and they seemed like it was really like kind of motivating to just get people to be so passionate about wanting to volunteer and coming like, we'll do whatever we can to help support the president. And it was just a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
That's great. And so when you were speaking to supporters on the phone, what did you find? What worked? What got them to sort of say that they were going to come in and actually make some calls?
If we were enthusiastic about it, they seemed enthusiastic.
Okay. So you felt like that sort of translated through the phone?
Yeah, having a positive attitude, for sure.
Well, I definitely think like the factor of like that they're working or they're busy was a problem. Like if they're like, I'm too busy to come in, but I really do support the president, like, which is nice to hear, but it is hard when people are really busy still.
Okay, great.
It's important to act like you care about the people. Like ask, hey, how are you? How's your day going? And not just, do you support the president? You know, act like they're real human beings because they are.
And the people that said yes to volunteering, did they actually mention anything in specific detail about why they're supporting the president or what they want to do to help out?
It's actually funny because like on the video committee yesterday, we were talking about like what we're doing for our video. We were talking about like, you know, I don't have control of my body. That's why I vote Democrat. We actually had a lot of people. I had a couple people. Yeah. So I had a lot of people who were just like, oh well, I lost my job, and so I know if I vote Republican, that Obama will restore some of those jobs. And like something like that gives us hope and stuff. So that was interesting.
That's great. So, in terms of the energy in the room, I felt like that was up today. I felt like that was consistent as well. And I thought that ring the bell for volunteers. Did people enjoy that?
Yeah.
So every time we got a volunteer, someone would run up and ring the bell, and people in the room would clap. And also when people completed a call sheet, which had about 56 calls in it, they'd come up and they'd fill out a box here, and so we finished our goals for calling into Texas, and we actually started spilling outside of Texas as well, which is always a little bit exciting. But yeah, good job everybody. We did really well on goals for volunteers.
So by the end of it, hopefully we'll be able to employ them all and continue to win all of the seats that we need to win to keep our party strong and our country strong. So I'm going to turn it over to Marco, who's going to introduce our guest.
All right, just before we start, I'm very excited and a little nervous to introduce our next speaker. I haven't met her before, but she comes from where I'm from, so I'm really, really excited to introduce her. This is State Representative-elect Mary Edna Gonzalez. She is going to be the representative for the 75th District, which is Lower Valley, El Paso, and Western El Paso County. She has worked with the National Hispanic Institute and has used to work for State Representatives Paul Moreno and Richard Raymond in the Texas House. She has been the Assistant Dean for Multicultural Affairs at UT and is a visiting instructor at Southwestern University. Her professional experience and academic background in community engagement have given her the tools to promote social justice. She wants to protect the interests of groups that historically not had equitable access to the political process. She grew up on a farm in Clint, Texas, which is in El Paso County, and she's the oldest of 11 children. She's used to working long hours while going to school full time. She ran in this election to replace a man who wanted to run for county commission, Representative Chetek Quintanilla, and he's running in a runoff against a high school friend of mine, Vincent Perez. So that's an interesting race that I'm interested in, and I'm very, very proud to introduce you, Mary, because you are going to be the first openly gay member of the, or lesbian member of the Texas House, and that's really important to me, being from the LGBT community. And before I give you the floor, I would like to introduce you to all our Campaign Academy students. I'll start off over here. My name is Marco Ratia. I'm a Iraq War veteran. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. I moved to Austin 2 years ago after getting out of the Army. And I've just been getting involved in local politics. Right now I'm at Austin Community College, and my hope is to graduate from UT Austin with a double major in political science and Middle Eastern studies.
He has lost his voice.
Okay.
So that's your story. This is Quinn Neal.
Recent immigrants to the United States without the infrastructure being built. And luckily, we don't have new colonias being built anymore, but now we have thousands that we're still trying to address.
Sort of like favelas in Brazil?
Yeah, kind of like that. Not favelas, it's been a lot. These communities are smaller, like 100 here, 100 here, 100 here. But yeah. I don't think there's any in Austin, but they're mostly on the border.
Are those also the areas where we heard today that many Hispanics are very in favor of Barack Obama, but they don't vote for him, they don't turn out? Are those also the areas where you would find these populations?
I think that there's a lot of voters. The colonias are the reason I got elected, because these voters have been actively involved in fighting for water, fighting for roads. They actually are really involved in the political process. I think that a lot of times, like Texas, a lot of people don't vote in Texas because they feel their vote's not going to matter because the state's red, right?
Florida, which could go either way. It could go Democratic or Republican. So we're all calling in to Florida to try to convince people that may or may not vote Democratic to vote Democratic. So right now we're calling into Austin to see if they will help us do that. Yeah, right now we're working for the Democrats, so we're trying to get them to vote Democratic. But right now, specifically, we're calling people in Austin to do the same, so that instead of 30 people calling, we can have 40, 50, 60, however many, get as many people. Yeah, most of us are college students. A few of us here are high school students. Okay.